So Peter, what's new at CBLT?
Well, apart from our new gum packs, we've been doing a lot of work in Northern Ontario to project generate. The Canadian markets have been unkind to all of the cobalt junior explorers. And there are reasons for that, some legitimate, some not. But if the Canadian market isn't going to give us the values we deserve, we made an executive decision to go to other countries and find buyers and joint venture partners. And that has been tremendously successful for us. We have become value creators and project generators in cobalt in Northern Ontario.
Right, and as we know, project generators accrue different projects under their portfolio and then bring in strategic partners to help develop those projects. Now, you've brought in one from Australia. Tell us a little bit about the deal with Winmar Resources.
Winmar was our first dance partner. We had a lot of people asking us out for the dance. We picked Winmar because they have a very good team. They understand both capital markets and operations, and they're well regarded in Australia. So they trade on the Australian Stock Exchange. To Winmar, we sold a property called Bloom Lake, and we optioned 2 others to them. The cost of that portfolio, well, there were 5 properties to begin with, so 3 of them went to Winmar. The property cost us $114,000. So far, we've received about $450,000 of value back between cash and stock. So that's a pretty good return for the shareholders. And we had 2 properties still left in that portfolio that we could deal with.
And are they taking the operating risk on these projects?
They are. They've asked us to help manage the projects, for which we'll be paid a 10% management fee, but the operational risk is theirs.
What else about, where else are you looking for deals, or do you see more M&A activity on the horizon, obviously, now as a project generator?
Very much so. We currently have a project outstanding with a company called Krakatoa, also on the Australian Exchange, trades as KTA, good group of guys. They're buying the remaining 2 assets in the Gauganda portfolio, and that means the Gauganda portfolio that cost us $114,000 will net us over $700,000 to $750,000, depending how the stock goes.
So, Peter, it's interesting, the Copper Prince property that you have in your portfolio. As I understand, there's gold and cobalt that's mixed together in this quartz vein, and as far as I know, it's unique in the sense that that's not seen anywhere else, or it hasn't been seen anywhere else. So, to what extent is that both an opportunity and a challenge?
It's a challenge because when I speak to respected geologists about it and I tell them what we have, the first reaction is really, come on. And I show them the samples, I show them the pictures, I show them the reports. And then there's curiosity. And within curiosity lies the opportunity. How much gold and how much cobalt? We know that there's a deposit to the east of us that has its own 43101. This property has been worked since the late 1880s. We know there's a substantial amount of gold and copper and nickel in the top 2/3 of the property. Nipissing diabase cuts through, and the gold and cobalt veins you're talking about are to the south of that diabase. It's interesting to track all of that gold throughout the system because we can make the property economic, we hope, with the gold and get the cobalt at the same time. In fact, we're doing some groundwork right now, IP and MAG up at Copper Prince. The Government of Ontario was very generous in the JEEP program. They've given us financial support, they've given us guidance, intellectual support, and we will get some money back from the government for the work we just did at Copper Prince. So thank you to the OGS. It's a government program that works the way it's supposed to.
Well, that's good to hear. What's on the agenda? What kind of milestones should we be looking at CBLT over the next little while?
We're going to be crystallizing some of the transactions that we've announced, which means we'll be converting illiquid assets to cash. We have purchased quietly some other properties in Northern Ontario, and we're into advanced discussions to mobilize those to other Australian companies. If we can't raise financing the traditional way in Canada, we'll do it the non-traditional way. We won't touch our core properties, but there is nothing sacred if I can build value for the shareholders.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Peter.
Always nice to be in here. Thank you.